Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to our channel if you like this video. Thank you so much. And now let's check out the Indian Rockhouse Trail. On the morning we planned to hike the Indian Rockhouse Trail, you couldn't ask for a better day to go hiking. The weather was clear and the humidity was low as the day started. A couple of our local hiking buddies and I had planned this trip earlier in the week. Since they had never hiked the Indian Rockhouse Trail, and I had only done it once before, we were eager to mark this one off the list. We planned to go on a Saturday in mid-October. We headed out for the trail around 8 a.m. for the drive. We stopped along the way to get fuel and pick up sandwiches to eat when we finished the hike. We found that having some food and cold drinks back at the vehicle is just the thing after a long backcountry hike. When we arrived at the trailhead parking around 9 a.m., there were only 2 other cars in the parking area. This was a good sign that we wouldn't encounter a lot of people on the trail, so it shouldn't be too crowded. Getting an early start does have its advantages. We know from experience that during the warmer months these trails around the Buffalo River Valley and surrounding areas get lots of traffic. And hiking is so much more pleasant during the spring, fall, and even some warmer days during winter. We had discussed on the drive down that we wanted to reverse the usual way that most people hike this trail. We reasoned that the trail to the left would be better to hike down on the way in. This was a good idea, because the last time I was here we went to the trail right across from the parking area. The trail that we were planning to walk down into the valley on was a killer when using it to come out, and hiking it uphill. It was steep and we had to stop multiple times to catch our breath. I was hoping this time would be different. The Indian Rockhouse Trail also has a couple of loop trails if you want to take them to see more of the amazing scenery, so you should add some extra time to your plans if you intend to see all the trails. So we donned our hiking gear and walked from the parking area up the road to the trailhead on the left, and started our descent down the trail. I would suggest that this is the best way to hike this trail. I have done it both ways now, and can say the ascent out of the area is easier starting from the left trail heading down, and using the right trail coming back uphill. The scenery on the way into the area is amazing. I didn't get to look at this area much the last time I was here, so this was a real treat. I was working so hard to make it up the steeper parts of the trail last time, and missed a lot of the scenery. Hiking this direction allowed a nice leisurely pace, with only a few steep places. But steep downhill beats steep uphill, anytime. The first place you encounter on the way down is a small stream. At the time we visited, there had been an extended dry spell in our area. But there was still a small amount of water running, so I'm pretty sure there is a small spring somewhere up the creek. If there have been heavy rains in the area, you might not be able to cross this creek without getting wet. Something to think about if you are planning a trip to see it. After you cross this stream, the trail runs pretty much parallel to the stream down to the next interesting rock formation. The natural bathtub is a formation that has been worn into the rock over eons. The water has eroded a hole in the bedrock, and it forms a natural rock tub as water flows through it. It is believed the indigenous peoples in the area used this formation for bathing. At this point we opted to take the upper trail, which turns to the left toward the Indian Rockhouse, which the trail is named for. The Rockhouse is a large natural rock overhang which provided shelter for early Native Americans while they hunted and gathered food in the area. It is around a half-mile hike from here to the Indian Rockhouse. But don't worry, there is plenty more natural beauty to enjoy on the way. As you continue, you will pass another spring and an interesting rock formation called the Sculpted Rocks. This is a place where the water has carved intricate shapes into the bedrock, forming a small cascade waterfall. You will be approaching the Indian Rockhouse in short order. This natural rock shelter, for me, is the crowning sight of the hike. It is a huge rock overhang with dual skylights on one end. On the other end is a spring-fed stream that flows through the back of the shelter. The clear water runs back underground a little further toward the front of the cave. There is also a smaller cave that is on the far side of this stream. We were lucky, since there hadn't been any rain in a while. The stream was low, and we could cross it by climbing over the rocks and check out the small cave. Although, in my opinion, this is the highlight of the hike, there are many more sights to see as you hike back out. When you are ready to head back, take the same trail you entered on, and you will shortly come to a fork in the trail. Stay left and take the lower trail to see some different scenery. The lower trail leads back to the area of the natural bathtub. Stay straight on the trail at this junction, and you will follow Panther Creek for a while. This part of the trail has high bluffs and other scenery to keep your interest. A short hike will bring you to another, smaller rock shelter. You can go in and walk around inside this shelter too. It has a natural skylight in the back as well. After you explore here for a while, continue to follow Panther Creek until it meets another stream. This is where the trail turns and you start the climb out. The first part is a little steep, but not too bad. After a little bit of a steep grade, the trail flattens out and follows a bluff line. On this short climb up is where you will encounter an old zinc mine. You can actually go inside and look around the entrance to the mine. I was able to go just inside and take a few photos. You don't want to go too far in these abandoned mines. They can be unstable and dangerous. Once you explore the zinc mine, continue to walk along the bluff until you arrive at the bottom of a waterfall. The water was barely a trickle, but you can see how beautiful it would be after substantial rain. The trail continues under the waterfall, and then you will have a series of rock steps that take you to the top of the falls to continue your journey out. There is one more sight you will want to catch before you get back to the parking area. The Sinkhole Ice House is a large sinkhole beside the trail. It is marked by a trail sign, so it is pretty easy to find. When I was here last time, it was a cold day and there was vapor coming out of the hole at the bottom of the sinkhole where cool, damp air from underground was escaping. I didn't see any vapor on this trip. Once you pass the sinkhole, the trail makes a gentle climb until you arrive back at the parking area. Check out our website at lostintheozarks.com for more great places to explore in the Ozarks region of Arkansas and Missouri. And let us know in the comments if you know of a place we should do a story or video on. If you like this video, be sure and smash that like button, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload new videos.